Hello and welcome to Final Show Films. Before you enjoy the following production, there's just a few things I'd like to get out of the way first. Starting off, I'd like to thank all of our Patreon supporters, especially our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic, Cat, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. If you'd like to support us, you can do so on our Patreon at patreon.com/fsfilms, as well as by following me on Twitter at Johnny Bates, following and subscribing to us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Senstaku, on YouTube, youtube.com/Senstaku, and on any of our podcast feeds, links to which you can find on my Twitter account. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I hope you have a good time. Bye.
And we're live.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone. I am welcome.
I am welcome.
You are welcome. Welcome into my house.
Welcome to this Warcraft RPG campaign, Storm, Earth, and Fire.
And grass.
And the goblin explodes.
I mean, that's going to happen sooner or later.
Blocks fall, the goblin dies.
I am the dungeon master for this Warcraft RPG campaign, William, and welcome. Welcome back to episode 16.
Do we do a shot every time you say welcome?
Yes. You'll be passed out by the time we're done.
Two of us can't drink.
Yeah, you'll be very passed out.
That's how you do your shots.
Oh, right, this gun doesn't work.
Oh.
Joining me today, we have Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing... I've got this.
That character.
I've got this. Shiana Flamecarver. She's an orc rogue.
And Austin.
Hi, I'm Austin, and I'm playing a troll hunter beastmaster with Snack Friend.
The name is Jangatal Wildwalker.
Who has a snake?
He has a...
I have Snack Friend.
Snake. Snake.
Snark! And Stan.
Hi, I'm Stan, playing a goblin tinker that Shiana doesn't like.
What is his name?
What is his name?
That's his name.
I go by Josh.
And Zachary.
I'm Zach, and I'm playing Leaf Ironmender, half-human tinker priest of the Holy Light.
And Rudy.
Hey, I'm Rudy. I'm playing Brick, the Brick Earth Whisperer, the Tauren Runemaster.
And we do not have John today because, well, newborn children.
Babies, they happen.
Babies.
They pop out sometimes.
Sometimes children happen, and when they do, it becomes a dramatic event.
Life-changing event.
It slightly out-prioritizes playing D&D on the weekend.
Just barely.
Evidently.
Just barely.
Just this once.
Hey, when I go into labor, we're gonna bring the cameras in the room.
I mean, to be fair, last time you were in the hospital with a baby, we did play in the hospital room.
Yes, we did.
Multiple times.
We
Yeah.
just didn't have the cameras.
But when last we left off, this group of conscripted Horde military members, the group of them had been signed on with the task force of one War Chief of the Horde, Garrosh Hellscream. After a successful rout of Alliance forces at Fort Triumph, the group had been signed on to a new war party to follow the War Chief north to Stone Talon to deal with the Grim Totem tribe that has been, from what the group has gathered, a long-standing thorn in the side of not only the Tauren people of Mulgore, but recently the War Chief himself. And having gathered what information they could to make their own value judgments on the nature of this march, the group has just arrived in the town of Crossroads as evening is settling, which will grant the group the evening and the morning to procure any supplies they might need for the road using their own pay. While the army is taking a moment to rest, gather any extra rations they might need for the remainder of the journey, and prepare for the coming march. So, what are any of you doing that wish to do something?
Are we staying overnight, essentially?
You're staying essentially overnight and a little bit into the morning.
Okay. I'm going to go try to find the... see if there's a Thieves Guild.
Crossroads is a relatively small outpost.
Oh, it is? Okay, so they don't really have a lot of...
You're gonna see if there's a sketchy dude, right?
Like, yeah, there wouldn't be a guild so much as a thief.
I see.
What are you looking for?
So just,
Oh boy.
seeing if there's anybody who might be interested in buying if I could build something for somebody like the armband that I have that grabs stuff, see if they'd be interested in something like that to commission me to make something for them.
You're using your technical prowess
To make a buck on the
for
side.
unethical
Yes.
purposes.
Unethical porpoises.
Purposes. Yeah.
Most
Dolphin thieves?
Yes.
Yes, dolphin thieves.
I'm not surprised. But this far inland?
It's impressive. Their influence spreads further than we realized.
Well, there's also legitimate reasons one could need something that would extend one's reach.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, picking up things, you know, you just
Let's
generally
go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check.
Diplome. It's right here somewhere. 14.
14. I'm gonna need dice at some point.
I know.
I left my dice at home.
Oh, you are.
We have a box.
Oh, here's the
Yeah, there's
And
John's
a bag.
bag
Oh.
and there's a box here.
Bag right here. It works.
What is that large box of dice?
I like how there's a dice tray everywhere but at the DMC.
Yeah, I haven't finished that part yet.
That's your cover up.
Here, borrow this.
It's because he doesn't care for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Alliance Blue.
I like blue. That's from my dice tower. I can still be Horde and like blue.
You can. You absolutely can.
Did they already see the new table? Have they seen it before? Or?
Say again?
I'm saying, have the viewers already seen
Oh,
the table?
no, the viewers have not seen this tabletop.
I'm sure the
I don't want
different
to move the cameras
perspective.
though, so
the
basically,
cameras.
more people, less table, is what you're hopefully seeing right now.
Generally.
Yeah.
That is the general idea. But. Alright. So what'd you get?
I got a 14.
14? So you sort of ask around. And the sort of unlikeliest of people who might want to purchase such an item from you, the innkeeper, actually.
Okay.
A Tauren by the name of Borand Plainswind. Is when you sort of demonstrate and start showing off this device to various peoples around, the Tauren innkeeper sort of speaks up. One of those would be quite useful for retrieving drinks that have been left lying around while performing other duties. And, generally speaking, would help with reaching places that are difficult within this inn. If you'd be willing to sell one of your creations.
Okay. I'll need a few hours to put one together. I take measurements to have it fit his arm and everything.
And it's a big arm, so...
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Like, it's about as tall as I am.
Why does a Tauren need a device to reach the cookie jar on the top shelf?
Because...
Not the top shelf it needs to reach, it's the roof.
Why is there a cookie jar on the roof?
Why do you
Because someone put it there to keep it away from the Tauren, duh.
You're storing cookies in very strange places.
What makes you think it's a cookie jar?
Would you look for a cookie jar on the roof? There you go.
Well, no, but like if you're like walking down the street and you look up, won't you notice like a cookie jar on the roof?
Yes, but you can't reach it.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
but
I
then
mean-
I would scale the building.
I mean, it's better than a pizza on the roof.
I would totally scale a building for a pizza.
2 people got that reference.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but I would scale a building for a pizza.
It's a Breaking Bad reference.
That's literally all I know is that it's from Breaking Bad. I have no context for it. But yeah, when I was in
Same, but you know.
when I was in high school, Breaking Bad was like
The
the stuff.
I don't know what that is.
It was an
I forget how young you are sometimes that this was high school for you. Like, Breaking Bad is not that old of a show.
It had just come out when I was like
Yeah.
senior year. It's like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could be entirely wrong.
That show, I know what you're talking about.
About the chemist who makes crystal meth.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now. I don't think it came out when we were in high school, though.
Came out in 2008, so 10 years.
Oh, no.
Oh no, it came out my senior year. See?
It's when we're graduating, so yeah.
Huzzah! Back to the
Anyway,
crystal meth on the roof.
Back to more important realities.
But anyway,
Crystal meth in a cookie jar on the roof?
go ahead and roll me a...
So it's
an
still
engineering
unethical
roll.
porpoises.
Go ahead and roll me an engineering roll.
Engineering. Oh, okay.
I don't
think I'm gonna. Not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Plenty.
You make it.
36 or something.
Like, how much gold does it cost to make?
55.
You make it in like an hour.
Okay. Yeah. So. Okay. Cool.
Matter of fact, you work at a speed of what, like 350 gold a day?
Yeah.
Divide that by 8 hours. You make it in a little over an hour.
I mean,
Right.
that's the cost, though. The cost is 55 gold. The actual market value would be 3 times that. So,
No, 2 times that.
Twice.
2 times that.
Just twice.
Because
We're-
we're working with slightly smaller
Okay.
measurements for tech devices specifically.
Because of stuff.
they're using magic item rules, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because tech devices are magical.
Okay.
A bit more literally in some
Good.
people's cases, but yeah.
So you...
Oh, sorry. I make that.
He will,
Turn it over
he
to
will,
him and-
he will.
Let him play around with it a little bit.
What price are you going to ask for?
220.
Roll me a. There's not really a bargaining skill check.
That'd be either appraise or diplomacy, I guess.
Appraise.
Or maybe diplomacy versus his appraise.
Yeah, it'd be diplomacy versus the
Diplomacy.
appraise.
Again. Okay.
Or bluff if you're saying 220.
Yeah, it might be bluff. Yeah, it'd be bluff.
Here we bluff. Okay.
You literally doubled the price of the thing, the actual market value.
Okay. 6, 12, 13. 23.
He's used to haggling with goblins, sort of the merchants that come through. And you go back and forth for a few minutes, and you eventually settle on a price of 140. Take it or leave it.
Okay, from
It's a net profit of 85 gold.
55. Yeah, okay. That's good. We'll do that, because I already made it. 85. That's fine.
Right.
That gives me a little bit more to play with.
And he sort of takes the bracer, tests it out a little bit.
If he rolls a 1, you better be ready to run.
Nope.
No.
Reaches over, grabs one of the mugs of ale. Perfect.
Okay.
I would say because whether or not I decide to roll randomly or assign malfunction is sort of up to the device. I would say the malfunction for that device in particular is pieces everywhere.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
It just kind of
The hand goes out.
Well,
It just
because
doesn't
the
stop.
springs, yeah, there's 3 springs in it.
yeah.
And,
And
so they would just,
if
just
it
explode
malfunctions,
like a-
if it malfunctions, it just scatters
just
everywhere.
yeah, springs go all over the place.
Yeah, not really much way for it to explode.
Yeah, it really doesn't even have phlogiston in it. It's mechanical.
Yeah.
It's Warcraft mechanical.
I mean, it's a vaguely realistic, possibly able to actually be built device, so...
Just not possibly able to be condensed to such a small size.
Or just be made so precise, mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make something similar, it just wouldn't be nearly as precise.
Yeah. A certain degree of
Or
impossible
strong.
science is a tinker's stock in trade. Literally quote for quote from the core rules. But anyone else?
We've been here before, right?
Yeah, you've been to Crossroads once before. This is where you met up again with, where you actually caught up with Garrett last time.
After his
After
swim.
he got swept away by a tidal wave.
Oh, as we're coming into town, my Sneck, who started this journey about 6 inches long, has somehow over the course of the day become about 1.5 feet long.
Yep.
That means he's important now.
He gets a personalized portrait. And he talks.
He talks?
No, it just comes up as hiss, and he's still got a personalized portrait just for his hissing.
It's just the portrait comes up in the conversation dialogue, and it's just less than, hiss, greater than.
And you don't even have a conversation portrait because you don't have conversation.
Yeah, no,
so
the troll doesn't have a conversation portrait. Snackfriend does.
Well, no, you do. It's just never used.
The troll has the player character conversation portrait where it's just a silhouette.
No, it's stock footage in some graphic image file. It's just never referenced in the coding.
Image not found.
All right. Yeah, there's nothing super exciting in this town, is there? So, we're gonna go on a.
Are you gonna go look for winged serpents?
I'm probably actually gonna go restock and I go hunting around on the borders.
Or survival? Anyone else have anything that they're intending to do over the course of the evening?
I want to get some more information about the general attitude towards this little campaign that we're going on.
Oh, good idea.
Who are you looking among, and who are you asking?
Given the probably not too tremendous amount of time, I imagine the inn. Where are we staying?
Most of them are setting up tents or sleeping arrangements just around the vicinity of Crossroads. But you are welcome to purchase a room at the inn. Well, a bunk at the inn if you want. The inn is one large room, but
Asking around the inn seems like the fastest way to get a good, diverse idea.
are you looking for soldiers? Are you looking for civilians? Innkeeper.
See who knows what.
I kind of want to just get a general feel for what the various sides think.
Roll me sense motive.
Ideally a little bit of everything, but 15.
15. It's a little hard to gauge. There's a lot of commotion that's just kind of moving around Crossroads right now, and it's sort of this. The army is here. Crossroads is a small. It's an outpost. It is literally a crossroad town. It is the small town at the crossroads between everywhere in Kalendor. Basically, you can go north into Ashenvale. You can go west into Mulgore. You can go north to Stone Talon, east to Duratar, south to the Southern Barrens. It's sort of the stopping point between so many different places. So it's not really a big place, it's just a place that gets a lot of traffic. And so the presence of the army here has sort of stirred up a lot of people. There's a lot of gossip going around. There's a lot of idle chatter that's sort of happening. Based on what you are gathering from the people around, most of the civilians in the area have no idea what this army is marching for.
Mm-hmm.
There are rumors going about that it might be, heading north to finally take the fight to the Elves of Ashenvale, who have been keeping us from getting lumber for so long, and sort of forcing our lumber trade to become grind to a halt, basically, because the Night Elves of Ashenvale refuse to let the orcs log anything.
Makes sense.
And so anytime they try and get any lumber from Ashenvale, there's elvish attacks on any camp they set up to log. And the elves and trade even during peacetime, trade was a constant back and forth argument, and now that there's actual like fighting breaking out, it's just ground to a halt. So there's rumors that the army might be marching north to take some land in Ashenvale to really let the Horde get some lumber that isn't just the scarce trees that grow across the Barrens or in Mulgore. There's rumors going about that the Alliance has attacked something important further north, like the Horde base of operations in Stone Talon, or perhaps even to Mulgore, because it is just due west, and you haven't left north yet. And the civilians are just uncertain of what's going on. The soldiers are keeping sort of tight-lipped about it, because there's the notion that this is a mission for the protection of the Horde and the honor of the Horde and the business of the military as a whole. And so it's sort of there's a lot of the Grim Totems are sneaky and cunning and we can't let them find out what we're up to kind of feel among the soldiers. They're sort of trying to not say too much for fear of who might overhear. And so it's a very tense situation, and not necessarily in a sort of, not in a really like boiling point kind of tension. It's just there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of questions and a lot of rumors that are getting no answers from anyone in the military. Which is, creates this interesting question of why can you not tell me what's going on, which creates a little bit of suspicion, but it's generally answered for the reasons of the security of the Horde, and that either quiets someone down or gets them wondering even more. But that's generally what you're picking out just by listening around, unless you want to talk to someone specific. And while he's thinking on that, anyone else have anything they wanted to do?
I rolled my survival checks for me and my Snick. So I rolled a 3, so I got a 17. And Snack Friend actually rolled a 20. A natural 20 to
Goes well without hands.
It's impressive.
He just takes the die in his mouth and just throws it. So the snake takes down over the course of the evening a couple of large rabbits and other small game animals.
Which it's now large enough to eat for some strange reason.
And you manage to find a couple of... I'll say you find a giraffe.
Oh, wow.
Not much in the way of, plenty of game, but one large animal. You find a giraffe.
Don't kill the giraffe.
They feed about 50 people.
Don't kill the giraffe.
Get him, Holly.
The troll
The troll eats people.
You didn't have this kind of protest when he was going to, eat fallen soldiers.
Yeah, I don't care about them. Don't kill the giraffe.
What are you going to do? Teach the giraffe to let you ride it?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Roll a percentile.
It would be a...
No, I seriously don't think Shiana would do that.
No, Shiana isn't here.
Yeah, no, and especially not in a 72 percentile.
I don't want to eat giraffe.
You're not going to be eating the giraffe.
No, the troll's going to be eating the giraffe.
For a while.
It's also not like African, massive 20 feet, or I don't know how tall a giraffe actually is, but it's more like
16, 18 feet.
Oh, I was right.
You were pretty darn close.
About, yeah.
20 feet tall would be a pretty tall one, but...
A newborn giraffe is my height.
Yeah. But it's a sort of. It's like a particularly large, very long-necked Clydesdale in size.
Oh, it's like those proto-giraffes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It still has
That's not cute at all.
It still has like the proportions of. It still has like the proportions of a giraffe,
If
but
it's not cute, kill it.
but it's to the scale of like 1.5 Clydesdales in size.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's still got the like irrationally long neck for hitting the savanna trees, but it's
So that's why the bowling works.
but it's not like 20 feet tall.
I've got some jerky for a while though. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying. And some skin.
Definitely.
I'm gonna skin it and
You
take
have,
it back.
you have weird spotted brown and tan skin.
Alright. I do that. Come back late at night into camp and Sneck friend, instead of being wrapped around my arm, is like wrapped around my torso and is 3 feet long now.
Yeah.
Getting bigger.
Brick, did you have anything you were looking to do? And Shiana.
Is there, like, a rogue? Like a town rogue?
The town road.
I don't know.
The town thief.
I don't know what to look for. Actually, no, I don't think it would be a rogue.
You don't look for the billboard that says, "Hi, I'm the town thief."
But if there
No.
is one,
Then it's probably the town guard.
Just go to look at the
I'm trying to
wanted
think of what I
posters.
need.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to see if there's any way I could find someone that could get a message to the Tauren before we get there.
To the Grim Totem?
Yes.
You can certainly try.
I know it's a long shot, but I figured I would try.
you're gonna.
Since she's such a good communicator.
Yeah, precisely.
You know, I think this is the first time that your character and my character are kind of thinking the same thing, and that terrifies me.
She's not a horrible person.
Because
She just has a bad attitude.
what I was thinking of doing as well was because with those rumors that are going around, I'm not going to give specific answers about anything, but I'll definitely sort of move on this feeling of discontent that specifically, we shouldn't be infighting with each other when there are larger issues.
This is going to be brilliant.
We're gonna die.
Hey, I'm not saying anything specific.
Roll me a gather information if you feel like.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, her personality really comes across.
Yeah,
14.
Gather info is charisma based.
It's not
Yeah.
horrible. 14.
So as you're looking around, trying to figure out if there's anyone who can run a letter, you find a couple of people, but as soon as you say to the Grim Totems, they're just like, no,
Not going that
can't go
direction.
that way. But you notice that sort of watching you over the course of your search,
You're really good at collecting stalkers.
there is this.
I'm well loved.
There's an orc who's always sort of like around the corner whenever you're looking around. Sort of dressed in this sort of black leather vest with this sort of cloth bandana wrapped around his lower jaw just to presumably keep the dust out of his face.
Have I seen him before?
No. But he's got his hair, sort of that dark purple that you see in a lot of orcs, is sort of pulled up into a high top knot and sort of gathered up around from the rest of his head. And he's got these sort of like very thick, heavy black leather gloves and boots, with sort of like the one gold earring in the top end of his left ear, and it's just like a hand axe on his belt. Since he's just kind of keeping an eye on you.
Just gonna approach him.
As you walk up to him, he just kind of looks at you and doesn't say anything.
Can I help you?
I don't know. Can you?
Why are you watching me?
Not every day someone's looking to get a message to the Grim Totem. Caplax put in a good word for you. What are you looking to send?
Which one is that?
That was the
Crablock.
guy who was at Razor Hill, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was him or the Ogomar guy. Okay. I'm trying to get a message to them. Warning.
You want to warn them of this army coming.
Yes.
Why?
So I'm trying to remember everything from last week.
It was a bit of a narrative dump.
Sorry. Also, pregnancy brain. What? I'm trying to remember. What was it last week?
We thought that the warlord was kind of
Doing it for like
We were afraid that he was
personal-
trying to cover up
Okay,
the fact that their chieftain may have helped poison his weapons.
Also,
that's it. Okay.
it seems like the entire complaint is against their shaman, who is now their chieftain, rather than against the Grim Totem Tauren as a whole.
I believe that our warlord may not have noble reasons for doing this.
Oh, you are naive. No one has noble reasons.
Well, no, but I believe he's trying to cover up something from his past.
Aren't we all?
Are you going to help me or not?
Let me put it to you this way. Do you have any friends in the Grim Totem?
No.
No one does. I could get a message out for you. You'll only be making your own job harder. They'll know you're coming, and they'll have time to prepare for you. They won't thank you. They'll kill you. But if you want me to send the message, I can.
Let me talk with someone in my group first.
Sure. You know where to find me.
Yeah, you'll be behind me.
Always.
You have a name?
You can call me Dargad.
Shiana.
Giving real names, are we?
I see no reason not to.
You are new to this business.
She's gonna go off and find Leaf.
Woo!
So Leaf, while you're having idle conversation and just occasionally letting something slip every now and then, Shiona walks up to you. Very purposefully.
Grabs him by the collar. I need to talk to you. Come on. Drags him off
Okay.
to somewhere discreet.
I don't expect anything subtle anyway, so you know what?
She is not a subtlety rogue.
Yeah, not particularly.
Alright. So here's the deal. I found someone that can send a warning
To
to the Tauren.
the Grim Totem, then.
Yeah, them. He says it won't do us any good, though. And they'll just try to kill us anyway, and they won't thank us. And we'll just probably end up making our job harder.
The question is how difficult the job needs to be before they decide that these forces are better spent elsewhere. Because, from what we can tell, this seems... Also, I want to look around, and where did you drag us?
I don't know, somewhere discreet.
Back alley behind the inn.
Okay.
Just double-checking to make sure
Roll
no
your
one else
spot
is
check.
there. Rolling spot? Okay.
With your absurd spot.
With my absurd spot, yes. 22.
He's got a pretty good stealth, but not that good when he rolled that poorly. So you sort of over Shiana's shoulder, you sort of see just kind of leaning up against one of the back walls of the building adjacent, just looking like he's minding his own business, but definitely within eyeshot of the back alley of the tavern, which there's not a lot of reason to be.
You're not cool!
Is that sort of that orc with this sort of black bandana across his lower jaw, black leather vest, earring in his left ear.
A way to send a message. Does it happen to be via someone wearing a bandana, purple
Yeah,
hair?
my stalker over there.
Glad to know you know about him too.
Yes.
I sort of shoot him a little bit of a glare.
He doesn't respond to it.
I didn't expect him to. He's too cool for that, I'm sure.
He's a professional.
Professional at being edgy, I'm sure. So,
I mean, that's kind of what orc rogues do.
kind of what rogues in general seem to do.
No, Gnomish
Most
rogues
of
are not edgy.
No,
Okay.
they're not. Until they are. Then they're very edgy.
But it's kind of like accidentally edgy.
The problem that the war chief seems to have with the Grim Totem lies with their chieftain. All that needs to happen is making it so that an all-out war with them doesn't make sense anymore. So that isn't an option they can pursue. After that, it can be either diplomacy or, if need be, at the very least something that won't result in the thorough destruction of all of the Grim Totem.
I thought you were about to say assassination.
That's exactly what I meant, yes, just not in so many words. In so few words, I should
It
say.
seems assassination is just the only way. There will be blood, it might be yours. So go kill someone, signed Bad Horse.
So what I'm saying is it might be a way to prevent... Perhaps a more fair fight is the only way to avoid a complete slaughter. I don't know which way I lean on it specifically.
Our army will kill them all either way.
How many troops do we have? It would
400.
And the Grim Totem?
Estimated size 5, maybe 6.
And they're on the defensive.
But you do know that half of this army is Corcoran.
Yeah, we're the much more trained. We're a hand-selected group
Yeah.
of people. They're
Admittedly, that's all the people, not all the soldiers, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's all, yeah. That's the population of Grim Totem tribe.
Right. Yeah. Plus we have bigger toys.
Yeah. You have siege weapons.
Torin, not known for their siege weapons.
I mean, or known for being siege weapons, but still.
Yes.
I see room for potential profit myself.
But you do know that half
Selling siege weapons to the enemy.
but half of the army that is coming is Corcoran, which are orc
Yeah,
marines.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I think... I don't have a left arm. I think this guy, pointing to the dude being all cool and shady, I think he makes a point. It's only going to help them kill us, and
It'll either be drawn out and bloody or short and bloody.
We could just end it faster. Also, I want that ring you were offering me before.
I toss it over.
She'll catch it.
Sure.
How do I get this on my finger?
Oh, you can do that quite easily.
No, you
with
just
one
put it in
thing.
your mouth.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, it works.
Look.
Or you
Yeah.
can just do
Just like that.
Yeah. There's a faint hum from the ring.
It's beautiful. I'll phone Mother at once.
You now have a +1 deflection bonus.
Phone.
Or,
What a strange
I'll
thing.
write Mother at once.
Also, roll me knowledge local, Shiana.
16.
The obvious thing that comes to mind, this army is composed primarily of orcs. The bigger the fight, the more excited the army will be. Putting a bigger threat in front of them will not make them turn around.
Okay. I don't think we should warn them. I don't think it's gonna help.
You're right. This either needs to be prevented or outright or allowed to happen. So I would avoid it.
Alright.
At the very least, whatever the war chief may do or may have done in the past, he still at least deserves an amount of respect. And, well, I wouldn't quite be as... I wouldn't... I would really rather not betray him on suspicion.
Mm-hmm. Alright. I'll go tell my...
Before you go to turn around to go talk to him, neither of you noticed him approach, but he just kind of lays an arm across both of your shoulders.
Ah, there you are.
So, something you might want to learn. Your conversations are too loud. Speak just above a whisper. Whispers carry too far. They might not be able to tell what you're saying, but they can tell you're saying it. 2. Why don't you ask... No, you're fresh out of the Valley of Trials. Your Tauren friend wouldn't know.
How?
Ask the innkeeper what happened in Mulgore after Karen's death.
Do I know? Could I have a knowledge about this?
Probably not.
Okay.
He takes his arms off of you, turns, and disappears around the corner.
Looking at him, though, can I tell anything more about this guy?
There's a faint... roll me a spot check.
I can do that. 25?
You catch 2 symbols on the inside of his vest, on sort of like reversible pockets, folds basically, that are designed to be sort of, if I need to show off this symbol, I can. The first is the symbol of the Horde. Obvious one. The second one is the symbol of a crown that has been sundered in the middle with a dagger sort of in the middle of the loop of the crown.
Knowledge?
You can... I don't... Roll me a history. You're going to need to roll a natural 20.
Okay.
You do know the whole thing about like blowing on the dice, right? Doing that.
I have no idea what that's supposed to be, actually.
It's,
You know
it's
what?
supposed to warm it up, which if the dice are made of a plastic can make one side expand slightly.
Yes. Okay.
It creates a very minuscule difference in how they roll. It can also add humidity to make a side slide more. There's a variety of things it does. But you have to hold it in a very specific way to make it do anything.
These are too
Yes,
hard.
but I wasn't doing it with actual intent of doing stuff. I was doing it for dramatic effect, and I rolled a 9 anyway.
You have no idea what that symbol is.
Cool. Fascinating. Something to remember.
You have his message, his suggestion.
shall we?
Don't see why not. Heading back to the inn, I guess, to attempt to lead naturally in conversation into that question, but you know.
Roll me gather information.
Should I roll this as well?
You can give him a +2 if you want to help.
I'll give you a +2.
+2.
See, she's being helpful.
11. I'm rolling really poorly.
Hey, what happened at Mulgore after the death of Karen? Wait, what? I mean, hi.
I rolled a 4, not a 1.
So, as you sort of, not necessarily the most subtly, lead into that bit of conversation, he doesn't seem to notice too much at the very least, but he definitely sort of takes a sidelong glance. Ah, you're one of the younger ones, you wouldn't have heard.
I give him a slight nod at that.
Well, after there was a certain gap in succession for a brief moment after the death of our former chieftain, Cairn, the Grim Totem tribe took advantage and seized control of Thunder Bluff and a number of other major Tauren settlements. Our current chieftain, Bane, the son of Cairn, there was an attempt on his life by several Grim Totem, including the crone, Magatha. He only survived by the aid of a traitor to the Grim Totem, Jevin Grim Totem, known as Storm Song. Bane, once he consolidated the rest of the Tauren, led an attack against the Grim Totem and retook Thunder Bluff. The surviving Grim Totem were given a choice: swear loyalty to the Horde and be led by Storm Song, or be banished to Stone Talon with Magatha. Roughly a quarter of the Grim Totem agreed to serve the Horde, and the remaining 3/4 remain with the Crow. So, a bloody coup happened after Cairn's death, led by Magatha, caused by the Grim Totem.
I see.
The remainder that have not sworn to the Horde in exile in Stone Talon.
And how long ago was this? This was...
It's only been a span of some months, perhaps.
I see. And Valley of Trials for us was a couple...
Like 3 weeks at most.
Okay. So that would have been while we were still sort of learning things and getting ready
Trialing.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go away to boarding school for 1 year.
And suddenly global politics... Well, not global politics, but you know.
National politics.
Yeah.
Although global politics aren't looking so hot either.
I think global politics are looking a little bit worse, actually.
Global politics suck. Mainly because the rulers of the two nations can't sit in a room and talk to each other.
No, they can't. The last time that happened, they literally drew weapons on each other. So you have that information.
Cool.
So are we helping No, I'm kidding. She's not doing that.
Hooray for character crises.
You learn the people that you wanted to help because they might not be bad people are actually bad people.
But
genocide.
But I'm a pacifist. I mean,
Tiana's gonna go get rations.
Get past
Okay.
the fist.
You can get some rations, market price,
Okay.
which I believe is like 2 silver for a day.
Alright.
Something like that.
Then she's gonna go to bed. She just walked away from you, by the way.
I didn't expect anything else, honestly. I mean, I kind of thought, hey, awkward silence. You don't want to be in an awkward silence. You just kind of leave.
And I walk away.
And increase the amount of awkwardness in the silence, which I'm sure was not fully unintentional either.
As you just sort of stand there puzzling for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, if you have any other questions, I'll be around. And goes back to waiting on the tables and cleaning everything up, handing out mugs when necessary.
I see.
Using a weird bracer that he seems to have acquired to sort of like grab a mug off of the table and then hand it over to the patron.
I see. Yeah. I'll probably just head back to the camp or whatever area we were staying in then.
Yep, there's a variety of camps that have been set up among the different soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Going back to that whole, like, listening for the spirits, sort of meditating with holy light, seeing how the spirits respond, that sort of thing.
Are you intending to stay anywhere in particular, or are you just trying to stay away from other people?
What's the area like around here?
So there's the inside the walls of Crossroads, which is mostly where the civilians who live in Crossroads are at.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's sort of just campfires and tents that are just set up in sort of a ring around the outside of the city where most of the soldiers are sitting, having conversation, having food before heading to sleep, setting up guard watches,
But, like, the terrain itself, what's the...
It's mostly plains.
Mostly plains of the...
Like some hills, especially after the wake of the Cataclysm, there's been a little bit of geography shift, but it's mostly plains, some sparse trees.
Probably at one of the hills, a little bit of elevation. More air spirits, because those seem to be the ones that actually kind of pretend to pay attention to me. Who knows, maybe I'll see more flying snakes.
One day.
One day the troll will see a flying snake.
On my way back, look for flying snakes.
Only a spot check.
Dag burn it! Natural 1.
You see nothing.
Just because I have to know.
A flying snake flew past you and you didn't see it.
Flying snake, like, walked up to you and said hello. Someone else could have grabbed that.
Snack friend got a 23 to see flying snakes.
Your snake friend saw a flying snake. You didn't see it.
He even tried to point it out. Like, he nudged you in the face and then tried to point to it, but...
Alright.
Picture a little snake just pointing with its tail.
Just break everything.
Don't.
But you all, after that, you all get...
I had to
Me
share
too,
that.
of course.
I hit him at least!
Yeah, I had to share it with.
You all get an evening of rest afterward.
Yay! Regain our hit points.
Unless you had anything you were looking for, Brick.
No, just gonna make sure I have things to make runes, and that's pretty much about it.
So you all get an evening's rest and awaken the next morning as various sort of there's a term for the officers who are supposed to see the regimentation of the soldiers. The guy who yells at people.
This is usually the sergeants or the. I don't know what the ranks are in.
We'll say sergeants for right now.
Yeah.
There was a specific term
Yeah.
for the sort of the military sort of disciplinary officer.
Yeah. I
Um,
can't remember.
and the rank is usually sergeant in like the American military, but they sort of maneuver around the camps and start shouting for everyone to wake up and get up and get ready to get moving. So you're all awoken by that, essentially. And so you all awaken the next morning and the army begins to move.
Snack friend's 4 feet long now.
Yep.
How much farther is he gonna go?
5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 feet more.
So,
or
like-
5 feet total.
5 feet total.
I can pretty much tell that there's magically weird things going on with that, I'm guessing.
Snake seems weird.
Okay,
They don't grow that big that fast. Normally.
cool.
You know that small snakes can grow to be very, very large snakes, just not usually over the course of a couple of days.
Mostly just one day, really.
But the army begins to move further north as you all proceed to start making your way towards the Stone Talon Mountains. And once again, each of you, sort of over the course of the day, spot various individuals that you recognize. You see General Nazgrim moving in a small party with the war chief, with Garrosh, and a couple of other Korkron throughout the day. But after about 4 in the evening, as the army is preparing to clear the halfway mark towards Stone Talon, the red armored shape of Overlord Orbarok begins to appear in your field of vision as he begins to approach your wagon.
Overlord Orbarok, that was...
That's the one that is directly in charge of your unit among several others.
Cool. I see him walking over.
Yep.
Stand and salute, basically.
Riding over on a wolf. But,
Salute him when he enters.
yep. Alright. So, from my understanding from conversations with Warlord Bloodhilt, you lot have acquitted yourselves well as a scouting force and expeditionary unit.
That has been the majority of our tasks thus far.
Good. I did say that with that shredder on hand, you'd be hitting hard targets, but right now, I think we need some outriders. We need to meet with Jevon Windtotem and see what sort of plan he's got for dealing with the rest of the Grim Totem. I'm going to need you to accompany me and General Nazgrim as we move north.
Understood.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
The war chief will remain behind to head the armies, but General Nazgrim will be the primary coordinator of these offensives, and so we will need direct information.
I'm presuming we'll be moving ahead as the scouting party immediately. When do we intend to have the rest of the army follow after?
They'll be following behind, but you may understand from the previous few days that an army moves at a much slower pace than a small unit.
Of course.
We'll be taking wolves and raptors, and we'll be moving as an outriding force.
Understood.
We've had our Swiftest Kodo pulled aside for you if you'd like it, Torin.
Much appreciated. Overlord. Over now.
No, over. I can't say thing.
Over something.
Orbarok.
Orbarok.
Orb or rock?
It's an orb of rock.
Oh.
It's a round rock. Got it.
But shortly thereafter, wolves, kodos, and raptors are pulled aside for the lot of you. Do you want a wolf or a raptor, Goblin?
What's easier to hang on to? I think wolves are probably where.
I mean, wolves have more of a coat.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're also more on all fours.
Yeah.
Yeah, raptors are not
Yeah.
on all fours.
I don't know if I could do that. Yeah.
There's a lot more bouncing motion on a raptor.
Right.
That said, there's also a lot more neck to hold on to.
I think a wolf is a whole lot more.
The easiest to ride a horse, but you see, we're in the horde.
I know. I see that.
We gotta be hipsters like that.
I
That's
want
fine.
to ride a kraken, but someone won't let me.
You're on land.
I don't care.
Land
Kraken
Kraken.
does.
Minor technicalities. Can I ride Cthulhu?
Land Kraken. There are land sharks. We need land Kraken.